Next one, types of bias stabilization. Already we have two techniques like stabilization technique and compensation techniques, which techniques are used to maintain the Q point as stable. So already we have the definition of these two techniques. Now let's see the types of stabilization techniques, or which is called as the biasing of BJT. There are three types of biasing method is there in BJT. First one is fixed bias, or also called as base register. Second one is collector to base bias or feedback bias. Third one is voltage divider bias or self bias or emitter bias. These are the three types of biasing method in PG. So in the types of PJT, how to analyze the biasing circuits? We have a 4 steps. First step, from the circuit diagram, that is biasing circuit, we have to find the base current by applying the KVL at the input circuit or input loop. Next one is to find the collector current and collector emitter voltage by by applying Kirchhoff voltage law at the output circuit. We can get the collector current and collector emitter voltage. Then to find the stability factor by applying the differentiation of IB base current with respect to IC, because we know the stability factor is the change of variation in collector current due to the variation in transistor parameter dou IC by dou IB and dou IC by dou VBE and dou IC by dou beta. So these three terms are called as the stability factors. So these are the procedures to design a biasing circuits. Let's go for the first method, that is fixed bias. So this is the circuit diagram of fixed bias. So in this fixed bias circuit, we have a capacitor C1 and capacitor C2. So here I am not drawing that capacitor because we are going to apply the DC analysis. In DC analysis, the reactance of the capacitance is infinitive. So it can be a open circuit. So we don't need to draw this capacitors here, right? So in the fixed bias circuit, we are using a high resistance, that is base resistance RB, which is connected between VCC and base, right? So in a stabilization techniques is nothing but uses the biasing resistor, resistive biasing, which allowed to vary the IB, right? By using this resistive biasing, we are going to vary the value of base current. By the way, we compensate the increasing collector current, right? So in this method, we are going to stable the Q point in a biasing circuit. So this is the hints of this circuit, that is operation of this circuit. If the temperature increases, it automatically increases the collector current because the transistor parameters are temperature independent. So if temperature increases, it automatically increases the collector current. If collector current increases means what happen? The Q point definitely shift from undesirable region. Then how it will become stable? For that, we are going to vary the base current. If base current decreases means it automatically decreases the collector current, because we have the equation of base current and collector current, relationship with base current and collector current, that is IC is equal to beta into IB, that is IC is equal to beta into IB. If the base current decreases, it automatically decreases the collector current. Anyhow, the collector current increases at initially due to this temperature, but by varying the base current, we can compensate the increasing collector current. How it will happen? Let's see in that circuit, right? So a high resistance RB is connected between the base and VCC. Now let's apply the KVL at the input side loop. KVL to the input side loop. So from the above diagram, we can redraw the input circuit only, right? So The input side is nothing but base resistance RB. So now apply the KVL to these circuits. So VCC minus IB RB minus VBE equal to 0. So applying KVL, we can get the equation is VCC minus IB RB, that is VCC minus IB RB minus VBE equal to 0. So from that equation we can find the base current IB, right? So VCC minus VBE equal to IB RB. So from that IB equal to VCC minus VBE divided by RB. So we know base emitter voltage is nothing but the 0.3 for silicon transistor and 0.3 for germanium transistor and 0.7 for silicon transistor. Already we know that when the transistor become an on condition, base emitter voltage. Now from the equation 1, VCC and RB will be a fixed value, right? So for example, VCC is 5 volt means it never going to be changed. That is VCC equal to 5 volt, it's a constant. Likewise, RB is a base resistance is 10 kilo ohm or 100 kilo ohm. It also never going to be changed. So both will be a fixed one. So VB is also a constant value. For example, if it's a silicon, it becomes 0.7, germanium is 0.3. So from that equation, we can conclude that the IB is never going to be increased because IC depends on these three terms, VCC, VBE and RB. If VCC value increased means IB value also increased, right? Or if RB value is decreased means IB value increased. This is the relation of base current with these three terms. But in these three terms become a constant. It's never going to be changed because VCC also constant, base resistance also constant, the space emitter voltage is also constant for a particular transistors. So there is no possible to change these three terms. So definitely it does not going to change base current. So here base current is anyway constant. If base current constant means the collector current also a constant one. That's why it's named as a fixed bias because IB will not change. IB become a constant one. Hence the name is called as a fixed bias. Is it clear? Is it clear? By using this fixed bias, how the collector current become maintained as stable? By varying the IB value, by adjusting the IB value, right? Next, to consider the output circuit. In output circuit, we are using these portions, right? This is the output circuit. This is input circuit. So already we derived the input part. Now let's see the output part. So consider the output circuit. So in the circuit, by applying KVL, we can get the equation VCC minus ICRC minus VCE equal to 0. From that we can find IC like similar to base current. So IC is equal to VCC minus VCE divided by RC. And also the collector emitter voltage VCE equal to VCC minus ICRC. Is it clear? Yeah. So next part is stability factor. Because for designing a biasing circuit, we have a 4 steps. First step is to find base current by applying KVL at the input side. And second one is to find the collector current by applying KVL at the output side. Then to find the stability factor. Why we need to find stability factor means, in any circuit which having a stability factor is very low value, very poor value, then the circuit have a better stabilization. So for that purpose only we are going to calculate the stability factor. So already we know the definition of stability factor is the due to the change of the collector current, the change in the collector current due to the variation of transistor parameter is called as stability factor. So in common emitter configuration, that is in a fixed bias circuit, we derive a base current and collector current. Already we know that collector current for common emitter configuration, that is IC is equal to beta IB plus 1 plus beta ICO. So ICO is nothing but reverse saturation current or reverse leakage current. Now differentiate this equation with respect to dou IC, because we know stability factor S is nothing but dou IC, change in collector current due to the variation in the transistor parameter, that is ICO, dou IC by dou ICO. For getting this term, we are going to differentiate this equation with respect to IC. So dou IC by dou IC is equal to beta into dou IB by dou IC plus 1 plus beta into dou ICO by dou IC. So this term is become 1. This term comes to this side. So minus beta into dou IB by dou IC is equal to this term, right? But S is nothing but dou IC by dou ICO. So first to find this term, dou ICO by dou IC is equal to 1 minus beta dou IB by dou IC divided by 1 plus beta, right? But S is equal to dou IC by dou ICO. So just reverse this terms. So it's also going to reversed, that is 1 plus beta divided by 1 minus beta into dou IB by dou IC, right? So this is the stability factor due to change in collector current. Now we are going to find this value, then only we get the S, right? So from that equation, find dou IB by dou IC, correct? So for that, we are going to again differentiate equation 1 with respect to IC. Okay, so equation 1 is nothing but base current IB equal to VCC by minus VBE by RB. Now differentiate this equation with respect to IC, right? So this is the equation 1. Now differentiate this equation 1 with respect to IC. So dou IB by dou IC is equal to, here there is no IC term, so it become a 0. So now substitute this value into equation 4, right? So S is equal to 1 plus beta divided by 1 minus beta into dou IB by dou IC value equal to 0. So 1 minus 0, it becomes S is equal to 1 plus beta. So this is the stability factor due to the variation in ICO. Next to find S dash. S dash is nothing but change in the collector current due to the variation in the transistor parameter VBE. The remaining parameters become a constant. For finding this S dash, we have a equation 1 IB equal to VCC minus VBE by RB. We know the relationship between IC and IB. From that, IB equal to IC by beta. Now substitute this term to here. So IB equal to IC divided by beta. This beta into cross multiplied into RHS side. So beta into VCC minus VBE by RB. Now differentiate this equation with respect to VBE, because S dash is nothing but dou IC by dou VBE. We have IC. So now differentiate this equation with respect to VBE, right? So S dash equal to dou IC by dou VBE equal to beta into VCC minus dou VBE by RB. So differentiate this equation with respect to VBE now. This term becomes 0 and this term become minus beta by RB. This is the S dash. Now find the S double dash. S double dash is nothing but change in the collector current due to the transistor parameter beta. The remaining two parameters are constant. So here also we have using the equation 5, because we have an equation of IC. Now differentiate this IC with respect to beta, we get the S double dash, right? So differentiate this equation with respect to, so dou IC by dou beta equal to beta into VCC minus VBE by RB. So differentiate beta means it become a 1. So which is nothing but VCC minus VBE by RB, which is nothing but IB. Already we derived the IB base current equation, IB equal to VCC minus VBE by RB. So S double dash is nothing but IC by beta, because IB is nothing but IC divided by beta. Now relation between S and S dash. Already we derived S is equal to 1 plus beta. S double dash is equal to IC by beta. Now multiply this S double dash with S numerator and denominator. S is nothing but 1 plus beta. So IC by beta into 1 plus beta divided by 1 plus beta. So I see 1 plus beta is nothing but stability factor S divided by beta into 1 plus beta. So this is the relation between S and S double dash. So this is the overall analysis and design of fixed bias circuit. Now the advantage of fixed bias circuit is it's a very simple circuit because here only we using a base resistance connected between supply and the base. And the biasing conditions can be easily set. Biasing condition means the collector can become a constant. Disadvantage is fixed bias circuit is the Q point is not maintained because it does not provide any check on the collector current, right? Q point is not maintained. There is a possibility